Why do some Indians feel the need to tear each other down? It's not just about criticism, it's about judgment, and it can be deeply frustrating. And I've been noticing something lately, and it's disappointing to say the least. Whatever I or someone else put something out there, whether it's a new idea or a success story or just trying to share some knowledge, there are always a few voices that come forward not to offer constructive feedback but to pull us down. And the thing is, these voices often come from our own community. And it makes you wonder, why do some Indians hate on other Indians? Now, I'm all in for healthy criticism. If you got a different perspective or if there's something that I can do better, by all means, I think you should go and communicate that to the other person and put it up in the comments. That's how we learn and grow. But what I'm talking about is different. This is about humiliation, judgment, and negativity that doesn't help anyone at all. And what's more disappointing is that it often comes from people who are not even in the same field or who don't have the skills or experience to back up their comments. When I asked myself, why does this happen? There wasn't a single answer for it, but here are some of the reasons I have noticed. Insecurity and competition. Sometimes the negative comments come from a place of insecurity when someone feels threatened by another person's success. Instead of congratulating them or being inspired by it, they choose to belittle or humiliate. It's a way of deflecting their own insecurities, but in the process, they don't realize that they are hurting others. And we have also already seen this in the news yesterday that Ranveer Allahabadia's channel on YouTube was hacked. Who do you think did that, right? So you don't really see, and he's been a good guy. He's bringing a lot of good people onto there in the interviews and bringing that lot of content into the market, some substance that we may not be aware of. Even if you go there, you would see those awkward comments over there. Even if you go to any success person, you will see awkward comments over there. I don't know why people and what they get out of those comments. Sometimes you can't even read them out by yourself, and you find it to be so weird and disappointing by just reading someone else's comments. I think the second one is a crab mentality. We all heard of the crab mentality. It's when people pull each other down. Rather than lifting each other up, it's like crabs in a bucket. If one crab tries to climb out, the others will pull it back down. It's a metaphor for how instead of supporting someone's success, some people would rather see them fail and feel good about it. And let's be honest here, it's a toxic mentality that holds everyone back. I don't know how people find fun or happiness in that. The third aspect is lack of empathy or understanding. Not everyone understands the effort or skill or hard work it takes to get where you are. You might have gone through a lot in your life, in your work life, your personal, and you might have seen and you come out and you wanted to say it out so the other person or other people learn from your experiences. That's how your intent is, right? So it's easy to criticize when you haven't walked in someone else's shoes, because you haven't experienced it. So if you have never faced the challenges or learned the skills or put in the work, you might think it's easy, and that's where judgment comes in. And let's understand the difference between criticism and the judgment. The difference between criticism and judgment is pretty huge, and it's so critical to understand the difference between either of it. Criticism is when someone points out something you could improve on with the intention of helping you grow, where you're trying to share some feedback. Okay, you're doing wrong on so and so things, and please work on them, kind of a thing. I disagree because of so and so reasons. So that's constructive criticism. Where judgment is like just showing your tantrums on social media without even knowing the other person on the screen that you see. Right? It's about tearing someone down without offering anything useful. It's about saying you're not good enough without understanding what the other person have gone through or what they are capable of. And here's the thing, we as a community need to do better as Indians. Instead of being quick to judge or humiliate, I think we need to learn to support each other. That's a huge difference that I've seen when I was in India after moving to Canada. Here the community feeling is so strong. There are always people to uplift each other. There's always, I'm not saying India doesn't have such kind of a thing, but it's not widely spread in the communities that we see each and every day. It's only only the NGOs who come in and do it. It's not an inculcated culture or a belief in every single individual. So that's what is critically missing. And I see some comments are pretty much from the Indians on the Indians channels or videos. There is no harm for you. I think you and I are so different, and each individual is so different, has unique strengths. I think that's where we are coming to exhibit that. And so here's my message to everyone. So I think we all should stop that crab mentality. If you see someone doing something great, even if it's not your field or your area of expertise, try to support them. If you have feedback, offer it constructively, tell them why you disagree. And if you don't have anything to add, sometimes it's best to say nothing at all and move on. Or dislike if you don't want to subscribe to that particular channel, or you don't want to see that video again. So you always have options which are plenty in nature, and go to the ones that you like the most. And I think we should all agree to create a community where we lift each other up, and shouldn't be in a environment where we are afraid of being judged by our own people. And my accent, I don't have an accent, so if I'm in Canada, I have to speak in that particular accent, right? So automatically only then I'll be welcomed here. When I was in India, I would have spoken in that particular thing. If I'm in India and speaking an accent, that's where it becomes a fake accent. And same goes to anybody, right? So when you are here, you have to be integrated into this kind of a thing and not just be an outsider. If you do not, even in India, and if you go into a Hindi community and you speak in Telugu, nobody is going to welcome you. And same when you are in a Telugu community, you speak in Hindi, nobody's going to care about you or welcome you. So it's the same thing, right? So in Canada, I think you'll have to speak certain words in their terminology in the same way where they understand, and you wouldn't even notice or identify that you're changing certain words by yourselves. That automatically pops in and comes into your thing. You wouldn't even realize unless somebody tells you that. And the same thing, when I was in Hyderabad, my Telugu was so different, and I was greatly influenced by the Telugu or the accent that Hyderabad carries, and that comes naturally, and you wouldn't even realize at one period of time unless you meet your other mates in your original region, where they say that, oh, your words have changed, your vocabulary has changed, kind of a thing. And it's pretty natural. And your Bihar accent is different, the accent in Delhi may be different versus the accent in Hindi of Hyderabad is so different. So every region is so different within the same country, and that's how we should accept. I think there's nothing wrong in accepting the person as they are, and you wouldn't really know, or you cannot judge that the person is a fake or whatsoever it is. I think that's what we have to stop doing, it to project ourselves as a better individuals and citizens. So if you're someone who has faced similar negativity from your fellow Indians, know this: their comments are a reflection of them and not you. I think we shouldn't really care about it and move on and do what we intend to do with a good intention. I think that's what matters here. So keep going, keep striving. And for those of you who find yourself making those negative comments, pause, think, and ask yourself, am I helping or hurting? So that's a question that you need to ask yourself when you're putting up that comment. It's not just on my videos, it could be on any ones that you might watch day in and day out. Let's be better together in this kind of thing.